I have returned. So let's go through these Dark Elf items now. So we got the Soul Harvest. The Soul Harvest is the most complicated of the Dark Elf items. And so here's how it works. If you recall the Inferno item for the Council, you know how it does a damage in a 3x3 square? Well, the Soul Harvest kind of works similarly, but instead of doing raw damage, like the Inferno does 350 damage to everybody in a 3x3 square, Soul Harvest basically drains life. It does 100 magic damage to anybody in a 3x3 square, which isn't really all that much when you think about the damage potential, but what it ends up doing is it takes that health and it raises the maximum HP of your units, all of your units. So I used it in the previous turn against Daza. I'm going to replay this again so you guys can see. And it happens right here. So that's the Soul Bomb going off. Did 100 damage to all the enemy units, and it raised the HP of my units by 55. And let me show you that again. Now be watching my units when it goes off, and you see that all these guys got 55 more HP. So obviously that's really useful because raising the maximum HP of all of your units makes them harder to kill. And if you know the important thresholds of what HP your units need to be at in order to become tougher to kill, then you can really use this to your advantage to make all of your units a lot more durable. And so this is the 900 HP threshold that I think I may have mentioned earlier, that is so important to keep in mind when you're playing as Dark Elves. Because Dark Elves have no way to raise their physical defense. They don't have a shield like the Dwarves, like the Council, like the Shaolin. So their physical defense is stuck at whatever it begins at, and frankly the only unit that has physical defense is the Void Monk. So for every other unit, you really need to focus on raising their HP to make it such that it takes more AP to bring them down. And 900 HP is the magic number because sorted physical units tend to do 300 damage, and also the more powerful units do 300 base and 450 with the sword. So regardless of whether it's from like a Sorted Void Monk or a Sorted Impaler, if it's a Sorted Impaler, now when I'm over 900 HP, this guy will need 3 hits from a Sorted Impaler to kill and 4 hits from a Sorted Void Monk. But yeah, I could raise this guy's HP to 895 HP, and it wouldn't do a thing for me. It'd still be the same number of hits to kill him. But once you get over that 900 HP mark, even if it's just 900 HP, 5 HP over the threshold is just as good as having 10, 20, 30 more. You just got to get above 900, and you'll see that since I used that item and I got 55 HP on all my units, if I add one sort of supplementary defensive item to any of these units, that brings them over 900 HP and they become suddenly much more durable. So with that single item, my Impaler's over 900, my Necromancer's over 900, right at 905, which is pretty slick, and my Race is over 900, and so all 3 of these units are going to be a lot harder to kill, and if I use my second Soul Harvest later on, it's possible I can get all 3 of these Priestesses above 900 too, because they're at 855. So that's just the HP raising capabilities of the Soul Harvest. Super useful to make your whole army more durable, but that's not even the best part. The best part is that if you have a unit that is KO'd far away from your healers and you're not going to be able to reach them, if your Soul Harvest does any amount of damage at all to your enemy to the enemy units, it will revive any KO'd units you have on the board. Any and all KO'd units you have on the board with roughly like 50 to 70 HP, depending on how much you drain from your enemies. But frankly, they'll be alive, and that's the important thing. So this really strikes fear into the heart of the Dark Elf enemies, because they always have to make sure to stomp your powerful units when they're on the attack, lest they risk the possibility of you soul harvesting their units, reviving your powerful units in their territory, and punching them in the face a bunch of times with your powerful units. And then worse than just like doing the damage, remember the life leech. All damaged Dark Elf units heal when they do damage to an opponent. So if you've got a damaged unit in enemy territory, how do you heal it? Well, you don't necessarily have to retreat. You can just punch the enemy units in the face and get your health back up. And then all of a sudden, now your opponent has to deal with a full HP or a high HP scary unit, having done a lot of damage to them in their territory. So Soul Harvest is really, really good, and it's very, very important when you're playing as Dark Elves to use it very carefully, to make sure that if you're going to use it, you either need to use it on a clump of units. So this like five or more is a good guideline for using Soul Harvest. So there's 5 or more enemy units clumped up together in the 3x3 square anywhere on the board, then that's probably good enough. Or if you have a high value unit that is KO'd deep in enemy territory that you can do a lot of damage with if you revive it, that's also another good time to use it. But you only get 2, so it's very important that that you pick the right times to use it. If you get a good sense of when is the right time to use it, you will become much more scary as a Dark Elf player. So, as far as the remaining items, Rune Metal, it's the sword. It does what the sword does. It increases the base attack by 50%. Let's skip the Soul Stone for a sec. Shining Helm, it does what helms do. The Scroll, it does what scrolls do. So if you've seen the council videos, I believe I've talked about the scroll there. So nothing to see there. Basically saves an AP by tripling the damage of an attack, and you get 2. So use those to take out heavily upgraded enemy units. Soulstone. So Soulstone basically upgrades the life leech effect and doubles it for the unit that gets the Soulstone, and you get 3 of them, and then also adds some HP. But the life leech, by the default life leech for all the Dark Elf units is 33% of the damage that they do gets returned to them in terms of HP if they're below max health. If you add the Soul Stone, then it becomes 66% of all damage dealt to enemy units gets brought back to you in terms of health. So the Soul Stone becomes very, very good, especially on the Void Monks, because the Void Monks, with that splash damage, they're doing damage to a bunch of units at a time, typically, and you're gaining health back from all those units. And so you're healing a ton more, and adding the Soul Stone just makes that, you can basically go from like 0 to full just from doing damage to the enemy. And that can make Void Monks get really, really, really out of control if the opponent does not have enough offensive firepower to bring it down and stomp it. Because if they can't, the Void Monk can either get revived through a Soul Harvest or healed with a Priestess, and it doesn't need to have any AP wasted on it to heal. It can just go on the attack and replenish its HP that way, and things can spiral out of control if the opponent can't deal with it. So Void Monks are a great choice for your Soul Stones. They really get good value out of it. The last item is a Mana Vial. It's a potion item. Heals 1,000 health and increases max health by 50. Kind of it's a very generic item. Can get you out of a jam. I don't. They kind of clutter up my hands, so I like to use them to raise the HP. So like, it combos with the Soul Harvest well. Like I got 55 HP out of this Soul Harvest earlier to add to all my guys. And 55 HP plus 50 HP from the potion is 105 HP, which is just enough to bring this Necro above that magic 900 HP threshold. So don't be afraid to spend your potions to raise your health, even if your units aren't damaged. Don't feel like you really need to hang on to them. They're not nearly as valuable as something like a scroll, or your swords, or whatnot. Things that you really need to make sure you use them carefully. These can be spent fairly freely, and it can be frustrating when you get both of them kind of bogging down your hands, especially early on. Yeah, that is the Void Monks. That is the Void Monks. Yes, those are the Dark Elves, aka the Void Monks. And that was a Freudian slip, but I'll get into why you might as well call the Dark Elves the Void Monks in about 10 minutes, because we're going to go through every single matchup, and we're going to talk a little bit of it in depth about how you want to approach each of the matchups, and you'll see exactly why the Void Monks are OP. But before we do that, we got some turns around here, so let's get these games going again. So this archer is now he's threatening my Taoist actually. Can't kill the shadow. They could KO him. I'm gonna have to respect that. Kind of just want to attack though. Attack like there's no tomorrow. Because if I kill that cleric, and then if I get another one, which I could easily do with this monk, by the way, then all of a sudden we're both on one healer. And I've got, like, poisoners just chilling around the map. And that can make things pretty interesting. So yeah, even if he goes for my Taoist, I'm pretty sure I can dive his clerics. I'm pretty sure I can dive his clerics, and with the dragon in tow, I should be able to outlast him, I think. Let's see. So I'm actually going to leave my my Taoist exposed and take this cleric. It's a little bit of a gamble, but I think it's justified. Also, if he dies on the Taoist, I'll actually also be able to steal it. We've got this poisoner here, and then he'll be able to take that. So it's a little crazy, but what the heck? No, my spy. My spy. I should probably respawn him. Do I have two? I got one. Crop. Crop. There must be punishment for this transgression. not very helpful, is it? See, 2 potions. Man. Can I kill this? No. Wow. Knight's OP. Holy smokes. Nah. Wait. Oh. Oh. Oh, why you do that? Oh, sad. Sad face. Oh. Oh. Maybe let's play this defensively. I might have to sack this, no, I'm gonna just sack the medic. Oh. He wants to sack his ninja for the medic. Probably a good trade for him, actually. I don't want to lose a spy, though. Spies are so good. That might not be too bad. That has some good follow-ups. Alright. Well, I think now is the time to continue the attack. So I probably need to burn that. Actually one-shot that soldier, which is hilarious. And basically I say, you can take my axe thrower. Oh, but you can slide his spine over. That's crap. No, I like this. Do I like this? I have no idea whether I like this or not. I think this move is the right move, and here's why. I'm basically sacking my axe thrower, which is really stupid, probably. It's probably really dumb, but he's got like nothing left. He's got like nothing left. And so, basically what he has to do, I think, is I'm going to force him to choose between killing his axe thrower and saving the soldier. But am I even accomplishing anything like that? I'm not sure if I'm actually accomplishing that. Basically, like, I'm threatening his medic. I don't want to use that meat, though. What I really want to do is I want to, I want to get rid of both of these soldiers. If I get rid of both these soldiers, he's got, like, no offensive units left. He's got, like, a spy, which on its own, I mean, is decent. Is there, like, something better that I can do? I need to get both of these soldiers, though. These soldiers are, like, way strong. This is definitely the move. I've got to do that, but isn't like something better? I feel like this just accomplishes the same thing. No, I won't leave him there, because that way he has to do something about it. What are you gonna do? I just don't know, like, does that really accomplish? This is a super critical move. This game is actually winnable now. That shaman if I win this game, that shaman sacrifice will probably go down as like one of my best moves ever. To set up that chieftain bomb. But it's still just super close. I don't want to give up that axe though. If I give him up in exchange for that last soldier, I think what this gives me is it prevents him from respawning that other soldier. Because if he respawns him, then I can take out the medic, and that just starts to cause like a lot of problems for him. Because then he'll be down on one medic. I just really don't want him to respawn. I want him to leave that respawn open for the spy, for the medic, for sensor. I wonder if maybe I should think this is the move. Here goes nothing. Here goes nothing. That's what I thought he was going to do. No, I hate life. Literally taking all his units. Surely good things will come of this. Surely good things will come of this. Oh my god. Hero bamboo. Hero bamboo. Okay. Interesting. How do I want to handle this? I think that's what I want to do. My cupboard's starting to look a little bare, but it's hard to turn down taking a pre-scrolled +3 unit off the board. That's the only alternative. I've got two moves. Which is more helpful? Take down this monk, or just take down the cleric, or take down the archer. Gotta take down the archer. It's freaking pre-scrolled. Why is this even a discussion? Okay. Okie doke. Okay, so we made it through a bunch more turns. Let's head back to Dark Elves. So, I'm trying to see if I have any matches going on. So let's talk about Dark Elves against Council. So how should you think about this matchup? This is a tough matchup for Dark Elves. And the reason it's tough is because Council's best units are physical damage. Okay, you get your archer and your ninja. They both do a lot of physical damage, and the archer especially can do it from range. It's very strong. And not only that, but like I mentioned before, Dark Elves have no way to increase their physical defense. They're stuck at, the Impalers are stuck at 0, the Necros are stuck at 0, the Priests are stuck at 0, the Wraith is stuck at 0, and the Void Monk is stuck at 20%. So it's like this huge weakness. They are very squishy against the damage type that Council does the most damage of. So how do you deal with this? Well, the main way that you deal with this is you spread out your damage. And it's a little unintuitive, but this is like, remember 900 HP, the magic number? That is the most important thing, especially in Council, because you run into the archers do 450, so it's anything above 900 is going to take 3 shots. Anything from a non-sorted archer is going to take 4 shots. And all of a sudden, if you can get your units above that threshold, whether it be through Soul Harvest or through Helms plus Potion, or Soul Gem plus Potion, or Soul Gem plus Helms, or whatever, however you got to spread out your items, you got to get yourself above that 900 HP mark on a lot of your units. And then use your scrolls, especially if he swords the ninja, absolutely worth a scroll. Sworded ninjas are very dangerous against, especially against void monks. They're really the thing that can kind of cleave through them very quickly. But also archers, if they put any buffs on wizards, it's safe to treat those as second priority, because you can get your void monks up to 40 magic resist, and so really a sword on a wizard, I mean, yeah, it can still do damage, but it's just not quite as scary. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. Use impalers, use sorted impalers to break through the really tough units. So like this +3 wizard, like the ninja, and yeah, it's a tough matchup. But really, you got to focus on taking out the archers, taking out the ninja, and take advantage of your range 3 healing, and get above that 900 HP. That's really the key. And there's no like really that specialized strategy. It's just you gotta go to war and make sure your units are strong. Spread the wealth around, and take out high value enemy units, and that'll put you in good shape. Dark Elf Mirror. So I think I may have touched on this before, but it might have been when my mic cut out, so I'm not sure exactly what I've talked about through Dark Elf Mirror. Dark Elf Mirror is it's all about void monks, impalers, and scrolls, and maybe about wraiths, depending. But basically, your impalers threaten void monks, your void monks threaten the army, and wraiths clean up the mess if there's KO'd units lying around. So really, you want to be upgrading only void monks and only impalers and maybe wraith. And I think the only reason I upgraded the wraith in this game is because I needed to turn cards. 900 HP, very important in this matchup again. You've got the void monks, do 300 physical damage, so 900 HP makes it 4 AP to kill from a sorted void monk. 900 HP makes it 4 AP to kill from a non-sorted impaler, and 3 AP to kill from a sorted impaler. So again, it's similar to Council, that getting your units above 900 HP as best you can is going to help a lot of your units survive when otherwise they would have trouble. But yeah, if you get an opportunity to get your void monks above 1080 HP, that is the magic number wherein it can survive a scroll hit from an impaler and still require another attack to get down. So if you find yourself in the position where you can drop both Soul Harvests on a large clump of enemy units, and you've got 2 void monks on the board that you can invest heavily into, that can be a really effective strategy, because once you get those 2 void monks over 1090 HP, there's no room for error for your opponent. They basically have to use sorted impalers to get those void monks down with scrolls, and they only get 1 shot at each. And if you can mess them up anyway through your own scrolls, through killing the sorted impalers, through forcing him to burn a scroll on another unit that's not those void monks, you basically just win. So that's the insta GG button that you can think about if the opportunity arises. Just keep it in the back of your head if you've got 2 Soul Harvests available in your hand at any given point. But really, whoever controls the impalers, the void monks the best, and gets the most value out of them with the swords and using your scrolls wisely is going to win. let's talk about Dark Elves versus Dwarves. And I don't think I have any games in that matchup open right now. But Dark Elves versus Dwarves it's tough. You want to think about investing heavily into your Impalers and your Void Monks, like usual. More so than most other matchups, Necros are less useful. The Paladin aura provides 10% resistance to physical damage and to magical damage to any units that are adjacent, either directly or diagonally to that Paladin. And that basically messes up the AP that you would need to kill any regular Dwarf unit. And so it just turns out that the Necros aren't really that good. So you want to look into your Palers and your Void Monks. One thing that you really need to always be careful of, really in any matchup, but especially in this matchup, is you need to watch out for the Annihilator, because when that Annihilator shoots, he puts a minus 50% physical damage debuff onto whatever unit it hits, and if you let your powerful units, your sworded Impalers, your sworded Void Monks, your helmed Void Monks, you let those units be hit by the Annihilators, excuse me, then the Dwarf player can combo that with a Drill, which normally does 600 damage physical to a unit, but with that 50% physical damage debuff, it actually does 900 damage, which is a lot. And so it's a very, very potent combo. And if you've got that 50% physical debuff sitting on your powerful units, the Dwarf player can unleash that at any time. So you really need to be careful when killing the Annihilator. Try not to let your powerful units have those debuffs get on a bunch of them, because it's going to hurt you down the line, and you're never going to really be able to attack as freely as you'd like. Other than that, attack early, attack often. Dwarfs' power is in their fortress. They build up a wall of their 3 paladins and a bunch of like shields and swords and bubbles, all getting like the ore from the paladins. It's just impossible to break. So you've got to get on them early before they're able to build up that unstoppable fortress and really cause havoc. Because if they're able to build it up, it just becomes impenetrable, and they're just going to slowly inch themselves forward and then AoE you to death, or if they're smart in this matchup, they'll probably be using Gunners, because they're going to be looking to exploit the Dark Elves' inability to buff their physical defense. And Gunners are really strong, so you have a bunch of +3 Gunners running around, just smacking everything, and they'll be bubbled, and they'll have like 30%, damage resistance because of the Paladin aura. So it just gets really out of control. So attack early, attack often, take out Paladins if they're free, take out high value units, stick Void Monks in their face, force them to deal with them. Multiple threats, all are very important when facing off against the Dwarves. Let's take a turn in Dr. Jim before we head on to talk about matchups against the remaining three squads. So what I want to do is I want to get a debuff on the on this clear. I'm not sure how aggressive I want to go with the shadow yet. Yeah, that's not going to do anything for me. That's not going to do anything for me either. Yeah. What if I do it here? It's kind of crappy. My shadow's going to take damage, but really what I want to do is I want to threaten this wizard. I'd love to steal it, and then get the heck out of there. I'd also love to steal the cleric, get him down onto one healer. I want to do that, then this is a little crazy. Okay. This is a little bit bananas. Basically my follow-up here, my potential follow-up, is this guy, no. I want to be out of range. There, this is right. This is the right move. Boy, this is tough. I need to get this other cleric down. And I can do that with this monk. I'm like shedding units like crazy here. But this is going to be a little bit of a weird finish. I'm excited to see how this goes. This is going to be razor thin as far as who's able to pull this one out. Let's see what Monkey Will sent me a chat, so. Oh, there's a turn. Wow, he did not take the axe thrower. Wow. Wow, I was not expecting him not to whoa, okay. Interesting. Wow. I wonder. I don't think that's a good idea. Well, okay. So I forced him to burn his other respawn token. I want to play this like as defensively as I can. Oops.
Sound and motion. You will be able to paralyze nerves, shatter bones, set fires, suffocate an enemy or burst his organs.
So, what I'm thinking here is, this is kind of a ploy. It's It's kind of a distraction. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I really would love to save that witch. Boy, I feel great that I've kept this axe thrower alive. Man, that was great. That was great. Boy, this game is tense. Ugh. Goodness gracious. What is going to happen next? What is going to happen in this game? This game is bananas. He's got no respawn tokens left. It is on the knife's edge. So close. I think this is the right move. It's safe. Gets my HP up again. Get rid of one of these damn snipers for good. Like, it's dead. It is not coming back. And I'm going to have to abuse this axe thrower like crazy. To get no more get out of jail free cards. Oh man. It's riveting. Riveting stuff. Boy, if you've been following this game over the last few weeks, like, boy, this one has not disappointed. Has not disappointed at all. What a game. And I still have no idea how this one's going to end. I think I might, maybe, I don't know. It's so even. It's so even. It is that close. It is absolutely that close. This is the move. This is gotta be the move. Whew. He might spend the next turn just healing up a little bit. Interesting. think this is the time to unleash it. Because now his other cleric's debuffed too. I don't know. This is so tough. It's been a really good game. Can't believe I'm not dead. I should have lost this game so hard. I'm not dead yet. Not dead yet. Still kicking. No idea what I'm supposed to do here. Maybe just debuff and run back a little bit. I don't know. Maybe bring my Taoist out a smidge. And threaten this cleric with yeah, that could work. I don't want to. I need to occupy that power base tile, otherwise it's dangerous. Or I can do that. That could work. Man, this game. I'm still worried just about these medics like linking up and wrecking my face. I'm very concerned about that. The nice thing about defending against Link is that this axe thrower from this position is actually AP neutral to cancel out the Link, because take a KO'd soldier, it's 0 HP, medic revives him, and it actually will take 3 heals to get him to full HP and then another one to Link, so that's 4 AP. It actually only takes me 4 AP to kill the soldiers. I go move, attack, attack, and move back. So from this exact position, Link isn't completely scary, necessarily. But I am worried about like these engineers actually could start to become a problem. Like if he starts, he's got another one still. If he deploys it and then basically upgrades the engineers and then starts linking them, it's a 390 attack unit, so you can pack a punch. I'm really gonna have to lean heavy on this axe thrower now that I've kept him alive. Okay, well, now that we've got this opportunity, let's talk about the remaining matchups here. So, Dark Elves against Tribe. The one nice thing about this matchup is that Tribe have the Spike Shield. The Spike Shield does 33% damage to any unit that attacks it. That's interesting, because Lifesteal for the Dark Elves heals 33% damage based on the amount of damage it did. So it actually cancels out. Now, it basically prevents you from healing unless you have a soul gem on that unit, but it's better than having your health go in the negative direction. And obviously it's nice against like warriors, you know, that rely on you being like below 50 health. It makes like the shields a lot less scary. But really, the Necromancer becomes really important in this matchup, because Tribe has only one unit with magic resistance, and that is the Shaman with 10%. And the Tribe has no helms, and it has no way to raise that. And it really doesn't have that much. It doesn't really have any ways to raise the maximum HPs of its units anyway, because the Spike Shields, other than the Chieftain, even with the Spike Shield, every single Tribe unit will still be below 900 HP. So a Sorted Necro will KO basically any Tribe unit in 3 hits, other than the Shaman, other than the Chieftain. With those two exceptions, and the Shaman has to be Spike Shielded, by the way. If the Shaman's not shielded, then it'll KO in 3 as well, because 10% of 900 is still 800, so it dies. So that makes Necros pretty strong in this matchup. It's really the one matchup where they're pretty good. So that's how I try to play with them. I try to kind of hang back, put a lot of units in front of the Necros, and really let them steal the show. I've kind of Uber this one. I wouldn't recommend doing this necessarily so much, but this was due to the draw, kind of forced me in this scenario, unfortunately. But yeah, that's how I would approach that. Focus on your Necros, put fodder units in front of them, try to be as efficient as possible, force them to burn their meat and their tidal waves, to get low priority units instead of high priority units, and then let your powerful units just reign supreme. It's a tough matchup because, again, you're dealing with a physical resist issue where you can't really protect yourself against like a raged, sorted, pre-meted axe thrower is just going to one-shot your unit. It doesn't matter what unit it is, it's just going to one-shot it. And so you just have to put units in front of it, or try to avoid raging your opponent. And with that, let's play another turn in the Dr. Doom game. Okay. So he's got those guys back. Interesting. So he split up the upgrades. Very interesting. I don't know if that's the right move. Basically makes my shadow invulnerable, because this is all magic damage left. But I still have to protect my Taoist. I think it's the right move, though. quick. We'll see. Hopefully my... I don't know. This is not going to be easy. How do you... this may get really stalemate-y. It might get really stalemate-y. I could easily see it getting really stalemate-y. That'd be important. It's probably my fault if it happens though. But with the flame, like if he kills the tower, so it's just kind of a decent chance. I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be close. Still. Okay. Let's talk about Dark Elves against Team Fortress. Dark Elves against Team Fortress has gotta be one of my favorite. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Why didn't I tell? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. It's almost like I had this planned just to talk about Dark Elves so I could show you how to be sick with the raid. Look at that. Let's watch that again before we even talk about this matchup. This is an example of the Wraith getting deployed in an enemy unit in an advantageous position. There's a lot of subtlety to this move, so listen close. This is pretty important. So I've got this Void Monk, which is at 1050 HP, by the way. Freaking ridiculous! I have put a lot of effort into raising this this guy's HP. I've used a Soul Harvest. I've used all of my defensive upgrades, so a Potion, Soul Gem, and Helm. Like, this guy is major buffed. And I'm like, okay, you've got this soldier on the attack tile. And if I just kill him, and then I run away, then what's he going to do? He's going to heal it with the medic. Because I'm not going to be able to stop it. What happens if I leave it on there? He probably, if I stomp with the Void Monk on the attack tile, I'm not sure, but he could, if he has a spy, he could go deploy 2-3, backstab, and KO the Void Monk, and I don't actually have another Soul Harvest. So that can present a problem for me if he has a spy in his hand, which he has like a 50% chance of having that. And he could also use the Girardi, and probably kill it maybe with the medic, maybe bringing the heavy over. I'm not sure exactly, but there's some possibilities for him to hurt me. So instead, this Void Monk is like unstoppable, but I just need a little bit more to totally blow this situation open. So I drop the Wraith on the corpse. And now, what's he gonna do? He's gotta kill the Wraith. And he's gotta kill the Void Monk. Because look at his medic. His medic's like practically toast. He's got like nothing on the board. He's got this monster Void Monk running around. And he's got two extremely potent threats, one of which is on the attack tile, for goodness sake. What's he gonna do? But if it was just this Void Monk alone, it wouldn't be that scary. He would at least have an out with the Girardi. But now that, you know, this Wraith here, ain't no way he's going to get out of that. He's going to lose this medic at least. He's probably going to lose everything, and probably the game is just over. But that is like a Wraith deploy winning the game right there. You heard it here first. Now, Team Fortress versus Dark Elves. This is a fun matchup. Dark Elves have a lot of trouble in some of the other matchups, but this is one where, despite Team Fortress being hands down the best squad, Dark Elves get to have some fun. And that's because Void Monks are OP. Dark Elves, aka Void Monks. The plan is called, gosh, Tabby Nat kind of coined the phrase, I believe. Monster VM. VM is Void Monk. You get 3 Void Monks in your deck. You put all your upgrades on all 3 of them. Team Fortress is very centered around its magic attack units. It's 300 damage magic attack units. It's got the Pyro. it's got the soldier, and the grenadier. Those are really the three staple damage units. I mean, yeah, the heavy is good, but he really needs the attack tile in order to become like a huge threat. And he's a killer. He's an AOE unit, not much of a stomper. So you basically buff up these void monks like crazy. You get their HP really high, and you throw them in their face, in Team Fortress' face, really early before they have a chance to get a bunch of threats on the board. And then you just splash everything, because Team Fortress has a lot of units, and if you have a lot of units, they got to be clumped up, because there are only so many places to put them on the board. So you just abuse the heck out of the splash damage. Team Fortress can't get enough threats on the board early, and then you just do more damage than they can heal. You wear them down. You force them to use their Jurati. And how many Juratis does Team Fortress have? 2. How many monster void monks can you make? 3. So as long as you only allow your monster void monks to be killed by Juratis, you should have one left over that you can just run around and kill everything with. And that's basically how you play against Team Fortress as Dark Elves. You make a bunch of crazy void monks, make sure you don't lose them unless the opponent is willing to use Jurati, and you just kill everything, jump on them early before they can get established, and then take the win. And so this is a great example of me doing that. I've got my monster void monk, got another one on the board who is waiting in backup with 3 items here. That if he uses the Jurati on this one, I'm just going to make this one into a monster void monk, and then I'm going to run him around right up in his face, and he kills that one. I've got this one waiting in the wings, and then he's got no way to kill it, and that's that. And without further ado, let's play these 2 turns really quick before we talk about the final and most complicated matchup against Shalon. I have no idea how I want to play this. I'm just concerned that he's going to be able to poke down my Metallist. Well, I have no idea how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to poke him. I'm going to poke him down and see what he comes up with. to get away from his attack tile. More than that, this isn't actually safe. More than it's not safe. I think you could kill this jam and now would have no follow-up. Tricky, tricky, tricky. So few units left. How in the heck am I going to break that? If he had one less medic. The soldiers are just scary. I actually think this might threaten the spy, this positioning. 1, 2, 3, 4, back. Yeah. Something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. Oy vey. Yeah, this is gonna be one of those games, isn't it? I don't think I can actually do that, it's not safe. It's been like totally bananas. If I had a sword on this shadow, I'd be sick. If I had the sword on the shadow, I would win. I would win if I had the sword on the shadow. That would be a winning move. But it's not. It's not a winning move because I do not have a sword on the shadow. I can just go like completely all in right here. See, I can't really poke him. Because the wizard's just going to come into my Taoist. I have a feeling this is going to be a really boring game. And I think this is going to turn to a really boring end game. I'm really worried about that. I think this might be really boring. Like, we can't leave. We can't leave our areas. We'll just die. No, you don't need to be sorry for the stalemate. That's how the game turned out, man. Stalemates happen. I've seen worse. Dude, like, if you think this is bad, like, you should have seen my game against Dragon Reborn in the Shaolin tournament, who, good grief, I have to play again in the finals. I hope our next game is less excruciating than the previous one. It went like 150 turns and basically involved me running around my crystal, or I'm sorry, running around my shadow, poking at his crystal. Anyway, I don't even want to talk about it. It was that painful. Scarred for life. It's not a good use of a jar. That is a good use of stuff. Whew. I think it sucks as well when we use that medic. I don't want to use medic. I can avoid it. I like that. Knight and no, it wasn't actually your pre-scroll. You've made so some of the decisions that led to this beforehand had a lot more to do with it than the pre-scroll. Pre-scroll was actually a fairly minor point, in my opinion at least. Okay, well. I can't attack. I can't attack. I don't have enough AP. I need one more. Well, I need one more AP to attack. To think of like what formation would work here. That's what it boils down to. This is good. It'll make this cleric a 2-shot, and he's gonna have to heal it. We'll see. If you can convince me that even if you can like chip away at my crystals without me being able to do anything about it, I will give up. If you can prove that I can stop, or if you can prove that I can't stop you, then I won't make you play out. I think we're still a long way from that, unfortunately. Second Inferno down. That's good. That's one less thing that can mess up my medic. Oh no, that wasn't the second Inferno. That was just the first Inferno. Never mind. I'm wrong. Alright. Screw this archer. I'm sick of this archer right in my face. All this stuff right here. Please. Here's what's gonna happen. Everything's gonna pop. Heavy smash. That is what I call a good trade. So basically, he burned a meat, a tidal wave, a warrior, and a spike shield for a. Was it a +0 necro? I think it might have had some stuff on it. I can't remember. It looks like it has some sort of upgrade, but I can't tell what it was. But I mean, it was very effective. Okay. We got one matchup left to talk about, and that is Dark Elves against Shaw. So, thank you for having stuck around this long. We've almost made it through all the matchups here, so thanks for hanging out with me. I think this will be the last part of the show today. But so Shaolin versus Dark Elves. While I love being told that I was victorious, maybe something less in the area of taking the whole screen. Don't have such a thing. Okay, well, you guys look at me staring at my victory. So, the Shaolin versus Dark Elves is one of the, pretty much the only Shaolin matchup where Shaolin probably has a slight advantage, interestingly enough. And that's because the Poisoners really negate the stacked VM strategy pretty hard with the resistance debuff. And also, the Shadow is just really hard to kill as Dark Elves. Even a pre-scrolled Impaler, still it takes 2 hits to bring it down, and you have to worry about like your scroll getting dispelled by Taoists and stuff like that. So it's hard. It's not trivial to pull it off, but. The one thing that you can, the best defense you have against the Shadow is your Wraith. And so, more than any other matchup, the Wraith shines in Dark Elves versus Shaolin. And what you do is you just stick the Wraith in the back of your army and don't do anything. And what happens is, when the Shaolin stomps your, or when the Shaolin Shadow turns the KO'd unit into into his unit, steals one of your units, you march that Shadow up, you knock it out with the Shadow, you eat it, and you run it right back. And then all of a sudden your Shadow becomes insanely strong. Even with all the debuffs that you can apply to it as Shaolin. You get it up to like a level 2, level 3 Shadow, or I'm sorry, level 3 Wraith. That thing can eat a Shadow. It can absolutely eat a Shadow. So, so really, you use the Wraith as a deterrent to make the Shaolin player realize that, hey, if I steal your unit, then you're just going to eat it with the Wraith, and it's going to make you stronger. And that really negates one of Shaolin's core strengths. Aside from that, similar similar way you play against any other match. Poisoners are more critical against Dark Elves than any of the other matchups because Void Monks just become godly if there's no poisoners. You just can't kill them. Like what's a dragon gonna do against 40% magic resist? What's a Windblade gonna do? What's a monk gonna do? So if you can kill all the poisoners, really that's what you should focus on above all else. And just be wary of losing any Void Monks. If you have any Void Monks get turned, then Shallan can put the shield on it and make it 40% physical resist and 40% magic resist of Void Monk, which is actually just not killable. It's ridiculous. So make sure you don't let that happen, whether it be through like a dragon or a poisoner or something like that, because that can basically end the game. But yeah, just focus on the poisoners, and that pretty much covers all the matchups. So let me check out these last turns. I'm not sure I'm gonna play the Monkey Warlock turn because I'm gonna need a break. But interesting. Okay. That's what I might end up doing. I think you should live it around, but it's gonna take forever. I just don't think, like, if you expose like any of these perks, then it's gonna lose. Is that even a thing? Can I actually do that? Sure I can't, right? like if I do this, if I do that, and then I just like poke your other healer down, like Shadow. And maybe I'll win eventually. I think that might actually work. Maybe. Maybe. Because I'll have the maneuverability, and she'll never be able to really kill the crystals. And he'll never be able to get close enough to really threaten the towers too much, because the crystals can attack. Alright, I'm gonna do it. I don't know if this is the best move. If we were playing like a league match, I might not play it this way. But this game needs to end. So this is how I'm gonna play it. Otherwise, this game could literally go on another 30 or 40 turns until one of us made a bad enough mistake. More knights. Feed them to the machine. Do I want to play this turn? I could always just do this. I don't think I think the spy makes that not good though. I think this is the best move. Wait, what was the move? Oh no, it was this, because that makes me safe from the spy. I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave that to next week. You want to see? If you want to see the epic conclusion of the Monkey Warlock game, you're gonna have to come back next week. You're gonna have to come back, because I ain't playing that turn tonight. I ain't gonna lose that. I ain't gonna lose that game. Not gonna lose a game that epic based on something silly like that. Making a mistake because I'm trying to play too fast. So. That's how it's gonna be. That's how it's gonna be. Yes, I am aware that my medic could die, but if he wants to burn a scroll, then I have to respect it. I'm really far ahead, so I've got both droids left and a spy on the board still somewhere down there. Alright. I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. Well, if Dr. Doom makes, if you make a move in like the next minute, I'll put that. How about that? I'll make that the last turn. The last turn of the night, because that game's been suitably epic. We deserve to end on that note. Yeah, God, I don't want to touch that Monkey Warlock game with a 10-foot pole right now. Good grief. Oh, boy. Yep. I don't even need to do that. I can do that. Well, that was easy. One down. Let me go. Got a Girardi for it. Ah, free scroll. Oh, you tempt me. Oh, you tempt me. You tempt me. Just FYI, this is what the next like 10 turns are going to be like until you're cleared, guys. Oh dear, oh dear. That's what it's going to be like. That was the plan. Poke you down with the shadow. This is like Dragon Reborn game all over again. Oh, the nightmares. Run Taoist away, poke shadow. Run Taoist away, poke shadow. Oh, speaking of Dragon Reborn. Okay. Here we go. This is the finals of the Shaolin tournament. This is the finals, game 1. I got a crappy draw. Looks like he didn't fare much better. We'll see though. But yeah. Save that screenshot. And with that, I'm done. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I've gotten behind on getting the VODs up on YouTube, so I will attempt to stop being lazy tomorrow and get them all up there. There's like the last 2 weeks, I think, are not on there yet. But yeah, if you like this stuff, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's at Tuamater, Tuamater. I also have the links posted on the Hero Academy forums if you want to check that out. You follow me on Twitter at Elagatua. I tweet out when the next streams are going to be, although in general they're always on Saturdays, 5 p.m. Pacific time. But yeah, that's all the things I have to say. Shout out to Dr. Doom and his girlfriend for sticking with us over the long haul. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. And with that, I bid you good evening. See you next week.